Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. Welcome to another episode of Walnut Wednesday. This week, I want to share with you a totally natural human feeling that I think we all kind of have in the pressures of everyday life, right? So if you're watching this episode, I've just plugged in my little microphone, but I have hopped back into bed. I've woken up today and I had the sort of feelings starting up yesterday where I'm sort of transitioning into Crone. My period is due. I just started to feel that body lethargy, right? That comes with, hormones and all the things. While at the same time, I have so much to do. So I've just been, my day-to-day Walnut has started off really, really overwhelmed. And I just wanted to talk through, Walnut, what I've kind of done and how I've gone about it. So yeah, feeling overwhelmed. I've got a lot going on, and my to-do list, although they're just small little bitty bob things, they've felt really huge, right? And I wanted to record a different episode today, but I just realized I don't have the energy for it. So I'm not going to. So I'm going to talk about today. When I feel overwhelmed, everything is so much bigger in my head, so much so that, like I said, the little tasks, they just become all-consuming. And external factors, finance. Geordie and I had like a business meeting, like a money meeting, which was a little bit stressful. I've got some travel I need to book. I'm in the process of getting a new job in my corporate role. So like lots of things going on, not directly stressing me out, but there's just a lot. And so today I just kind of felt like, oh gosh, it's so hard. So what I did was I listed out all of the things that I needed to do on my Walnut working day today. And I prioritized them, and not prioritizing in the way of what's immediately urgent and what do I need to get done. That was a part of it. But also, what are the things that I can quickly like smash out and get sorted out from a place of not, just get them out of my head, small bitty things, right? Because sometimes we put the small bit things off quite a lot as well. So I wrote my list down, and there wasn't even that many things on the list that were to do, right? They're just sort of backlogged things that are would be nice kind of thing. So I did that. And I also I had a podcast interview scheduled, and it got rescheduled. So that kind of gave me a little bit of grace to sort that out and reschedule that. So that took a big chunk out of my walnut day to just kind of relax a little bit more. So after I had prioritized my list, I made myself breakfast, and this is how I know I'm overwhelmed, because on my walnut working day, usually I'm so pumped up and sitting in my walnut HQ at my desk, like doing all the things that I don't usually get hungry for like breakfast until, lunchtime. So my lunch becomes my breakfast, right? But today I noticed, my tummy was growling. I'm getting a bit antsy. I'm getting like, when I get messages, I get like annoyed and things. So after I wrote out my list, I checked in with my body, and I was actually hungry. Like, it sounds like a weird thing, Walnut, but do you do that thing where like, oh, I'm actually hungry? I had a little check-in with my body to ask what it needed, and I did need breakfast. So I had my peanut butter on toast, made myself some food, and I actually took 5 minutes to just charge my phone, sit down, and just eat my breakfast, stare out the window, stare at Kevin, who was sniffing, wanting some peanut butter, of course, and just giving myself lots of little breaks throughout the day of stuff like, And I do this at work as well, Walnut. Let me know if you do, where I don't actually give myself a break. I used to do this in travel quite a lot as well, where I like would hold my wheeze and be like, I'll just finish this thing and then I'll go wheeze. I'll just finish this thing and then I'll go wheeze. Like that's actually really bad for you on like a body level as well. Um, but I just gave myself lots of little breaks. And now I have ticked off majority of my things. I have one more thing left to do. And I was just having a little woosah with myself and Kevin outside again, just staring outside. And I thought, why do I have to sit at my desk to do this? So I grabbed my microphone, I grabbed my laptop to just come in here and have this conversation with you from bed, because my next task is doing a bit of reading-y, laptop-y things that I can actually do from bed. So why was I chaining myself to my desk? Right? I guess this episode, Walnut, is just kind of a check-in for myself too, to just realize what do I actually need and what do I actually have the capacity to do, and how can I efficiently and effectively but also comfortably make those things happen. So it's a little bit of a short and sweet walnutting today, Walnut, but I'm really proud of myself that I've come to these sort of conclusions that it doesn't need to happen in the way that it looks like. I've just finished recording like how I started Walnut Wednesday and did a techno like lazified tutorial, which is on the YouTubes and things. And I recorded the live video Q&A, and I also realized while reflecting on all of that it's my podcast. Like this podcast is mine. I can show up however I want to. All the bells and whistles, the microphone, the camera, all that stuff is really great and a lovely add-on. But at the end of the day, it's my podcast. I can show up how I want to. I can wear makeup. I can wear no pants. And I can do it from wherever I feel comfortable. Doesn't need to be this crisp, clean, amazing, by way of comparing myself to other podcasts or what things look like in the online space, right? So this is a reminder episode, Walnut, I suppose, for the both of us, that you don't need to do all the things in the way that is suggested. It can get done in a way where you feel comfortable, where you feel like you're still doing it. Like, I don't know, it's the perception of things need to be the way that you assume they should be. But actually, when we think outside the box a little bit, when we check in with our bodies, when we check in with our stress levels, our mental load, things can still get done without like fucking everything off and just saying, I'm not going to do anything because it all feels like too much. Baby steps again, but also little breaks and little check-ins. So I hope, Walnut, that this kind of reminds you in a short and sweet way that you need to check in with yourself a little bit more. And I say that to myself mainly. I need to check in with myself more. Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Have I drunk much water? Do I actually need to be doing that? And do I need to be doing this in this particular way? Or can I do it in a bit more relaxed way? Like who is going to be telling me off for doing the podcast in bed? Nobody. I'm trying to think of, as I speak, Walnut, an example of how to do it in a work context about checking in with your body. But it comes back down to like the travel agent thing of needing to go to the toilet. Like, do I need to really finish this before I go to the toilet, or will it still be here when I get back to finish effectively, not thinking about the fact that I need to go to the toilet? So it sounds like a bit of a silly Billy episode, doesn't it, now that I'm saying it out loud, Walnut? But I thought it was a really good reminder that when you are feeling overwhelmed, the importance of checking in with your body. Yeah, checking in with my body. So I wrote a list, I prioritized, I thought about it, and I gave myself plenty of little bitty check-ins throughout the day to ask if that's what I actually need to do. And is it urgent, and is it something that I need to do from being glued to my desk? So on that note, Walnut, I'm going to end this episode here, but if it resonates with you, I think it's something that we kind of all just do naturally. So let me know if you feel the same way, or if you have a similar experience, and if you have any like corporate working world examples that we can like speak to together. Because yeah, I think that we are just conditioned to think, because corporate 9 to 5 cubicle work makes you this assumption that everyone has to be like chained to their desk if you're in a corporate role, or chained to the computer, that makes you more productive, and that makes you look more productive. But like, well, what is the look if your product is not actually being coming out in the right way, and if you're like giving yourself a bladder infection for not going to the bloody toilet? So on that, have a happy Walnut Wednesday. I'd love to know what you think on this topic, and if you are feeling overwhelmed, I just would really encourage you, Walnut, just to put the phone down, pause this episode, pause what you're doing, and take a couple breaths and listen to your body and listen to your mind, and ask what what do you need, and what needs to get out of your head, potentially onto a piece of paper, or just like express with your voice. Or is it food and nourishment that needs to come into your body? What do you actually really, really need today? Right. So have a happy Walnut Wednesday, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.